Oh, it's my favorite time of year. It's Christmas horror review time. We're going to finally review Anna and the Apocalypse. Let's go. Anna and the Apocalypse stars Ella Hunt, Sarah Swire, Ben Wiggins, Malcolm Cumming, and is directed by John McPhail. What's up, guys? Welcome to a classic. Even though it came out in 2017, I think it's already a classic because it's Christmas and people are constantly talking about it. It's Anna and the Apocalypse. It is a good cross between like La La Land and Shaun of the Dead, which is irresistible. And it's on Shudder right now too, by the way. And I finally got around to watching this morning, as a matter of fact. This review will go out to my good dear friend, Dave Vanderhoff. He's asked me to review this, and with pleasure, I will review this movie. Also, speaking of Christmas horror, I haven't done too much this season. I did It's a Wonderful Knife last month. My plan was, and still is hopefully, to do a revisited for Silent Night, Deadly Night. I was gonna try to do a revisited for the first one and the remake, and then do an all-inclusive ranking. I don't know if that's gonna happen now. I'm gonna still try. We'll see what happens. It's award season and I got so many freaking movies coming at me like crazy. But if you want more Christmas content too, I did on the Hallmark podcast, I think it's Hallmarky podcast, with Rachel Reviews and Sean Chandler. A few weeks ago, I did a podcast with them talking about It's a Wonderful Knife and really just Christmas classics in general. So I'll put a card right here so you can watch that too. Really good stuff, really fun. But anyway, first let's give you a quick plot synopsis for this classic. This is like I said, it's a zombie movie, but it's more of like a horror comedy. And I think what really makes it work and unique is that it is a very well-produced musical. We'll talk about some of the tracks later in the review, but just to give you the quick plot synopsis, our main character is Anna. She is in her senior year of high school. And really at the beginning, there's kind of a disagreement between her and her father. You know, he's a parent and he wants her to keep pushing forward, go to college, and she wants to take the year off. Really, the movie isn't anything about that, though. That's just kind of presented as far as who they are as characters, and it kind of comes around full circle with her and her father later in the movie. But it's more of just, you're a fly on the wall watching this zombie apocalypse unfold, and you got some nice musical numbers along the way. But Anna and the Apocalypse also has really great characters. You got Anna, her best friend is John, and she's got these other friends, Chris and Lisa, who have this relationship with each other, who have a really nice moment, actually, in the final act of the movie. And she's also got this friend, Steph, who is the American exchange student of the bunch, and she's really kind of the sassy one. You know, when you got these movies, I think they're using like Breakfast Club as a template, because you have characters that look like they're from different walks of life. They have different personalities. You know, we want that variety in these movies. I really like Steph too, because there's one scene where she's fighting the zombie, and the zombie, like, he accidentally touches her boobs, and that really pisses her off, and then she just goes apeshit on it. I got a good laugh out of that. And then finally, you got this kind of a bully character by the name of Nick. He's got these toadies that are his best friends. And I think this is where you had really good writing in this, because I kind of hated Nick in this movie up to a point. And there was a point in this movie where I got really, really angry with the decisions that were made on the part of Anna. And since most of you have probably seen this movie, I'll talk some spoilers. You know, it's not going to ruin your day if I talk about this, but there's kind of a love triangle going on here, because Anna's best friend, John, you can tell that he has feelings for her, but she doesn't for him. You know, he is her best friend. I got no problem with that. I think that's really cool. And then here's this guy, Nick, who's kind of rugged, the bad boy, but he's just been nothing but a complete asshole, and more importantly, a bully to all of them. At face value, it seems like she is choosing this bully asshole over her best friend. And up to this point in the movie, I was getting really kind of angry with Anna. But then later in the movie, I think they kind of make up for it, because we dig a little bit more beneath the surface with who Nick is as a character. He lost his father. Do I think they gave us enough? Maybe not, but they did soften the wound a little bit. But Nick does have a good character arc. He ends up coming around in the end and being a character that you like, which kind of works quite well. And Anna doesn't fully let him off the hook even throughout the whole movie. Okay, with that out of the way, and you know my reviews are all over the place. I can talk about stuff I don't like and stuff I like just throughout. That's just the way I work. But really, I think the thing that works so well about Anna and the Apocalypse is it is just so damn fun and charming. And these characters are very likable, especially Anna. And look, I am no big fan of musicals, but the ones I like, I really like. And I think I just need to give some musicals that I haven't seen more of a chance, like Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm ashamed to say I've still never seen it. And a lot of my friends love that movie. And I think I need to come around and finally watch it. Because I'd probably have a good time, because I had a blast with this. And I think what it all hinges on is if the songs are good, if the songs are catchy. I mean, you could take, like Grease 2 has a lot of really fun, catchy songs like Cool Rider and Who's That Guy? So that's pretty much a musical. By the way, I think I prefer Grease 2 over Grease 1. Don't shoot me. There are just some really fun choice tracks in this. I don't like all of them, but the ones I like, I really like. I think at the end of the first act is where we start seeing the zombie action in this movie, and she has this song about it's a new day. And it's just a fun moment because she's walking out, she's got her headphones in, she doesn't really see what's going on around her, and all this death and carnage is happening around her. Definitely reminded me of like the beginning of Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, but with a lighter tone, I guess. Honestly, I think one of the most underrated tracks is when they're in the bowling alley. That's a really fun sequence, you know, they're fighting the zombies in the scene, but the song itself, it's kind of somber, but it's just really catchy. You know, this is the moment where the cast, they start feeling like all hope is lost. And what's interesting about this movie is these are high school seniors. You know, how would high school seniors react to a zombie apocalypse? They might react differently than just normal adults, you know, and this is one of the few movies I've ever seen that deals with that. There's also a really fun scene with a snowman, kind of early on in the movie, when Anna and John are together, and she kills him with a seesaw, which is fun. One of the nice things about zombie movies, there's always a lot of blood, a lot of carnage, and it can work even in a comedy setting, you know, like Return of the Living Dead. There's no limit to how much blood you can have. And this movie does have quite a bit. It's not like the most I've ever seen, but it's an ample amount. And you do have some creative zombie kills in here. Now, it's not like one of the greatest at all. You know, most of these kills are pretty standard stuff that you would see in a zombie movie. And as far as like zombie movies in general, no, this is far from the best of the zombie movies. You know, I don't think like 28 Weeks Later, even though some might not say that's a zombie movie, but it's in the same category. I prefer that one over movies like this. But this movie knows what it is. It's a Christmas fun horror comedy. And you know, this is the type of stuff that we get in the mood for, especially as horror fans during the Christmas season. Although I like a good mix of genres, you know, I like the fun, lighthearted stuff like this, but I also love the heavy, dark stuff like Christmas Bloody Christmas that came out last year. I'm going to be singing the praises of that movie for years to come. I just pulled it out. I'm going to watch it again probably after recording this review. I love Christmas horror movies. I can't get enough of them. I always want more. I was going to do my top 10 horror movies of the year, but I hear there's like 4 more Christmas horror movies coming out this month. Will I watch them all? Probably not. Unless somebody says, hey, you got to check this one out, because let's face it, there's definitely a lot of crap out there too. But yeah, Anna and the Apocalypse, high purchase worthy for sure. Thank you, Dave Vanderhoff, for pushing me to finally watch this. I'm glad I did. It's definitely one that I could see myself throwing in every year. You know, it has a certain flavor to it. And I loved the musical numbers and the direction and the orchestration and all that, because, you know, it's a lot of moving parts, and having to, you know, have all your subjects in the right location, you know, all your violence in the right location, no easy task. And you got to appreciate that type of stuff. And this movie has a lot of homages to other, of course, zombie films, but also, from what I was reading, there's like an homage to like Sleepaway Camp in here too. I guess, you know, with the dress code on a couple of the characters. I'll have to go back and look for that, but I love stuff like that. So let me know your thoughts on Anna and the Apocalypse in the comments. Looking forward to hearing them. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do Free for Fridays. Follow me on Drumdums on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Drumdum out. I'm ready to review Anna and the Apocalypse.